Y'all better believe everything that Al B. Shore says. It's about to get disgusting.
It was ruled a homicide and they found toxins in her body.
Then she meets Sean Combs while they're both working at the Uptown label.
Thanks, Carlos. We have an update on the shocking death of Kim Porter. The model, actress, and longtime girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs died unexpectedly at the age of 46 yesterday.
When Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, passed away unexpectedly in 2018, rumors about the cause of her death started swirling almost immediately. But now, new evidence is surfacing that could mean serious legal trouble for Diddy, and we're here to break it all down.
Kim Porter, you was telling me before this interview that Dallas Austin, his daughter, was at her house the day she died.
Yo, I heard that the paperclip party broke that story because it was told to them by Kim's Porter father that is in the police report. That this is in the police report, that Dallas Austin's daughter, who was a friend of Kim's, left her house at 8 o'clock. That Kim had made a call, 911 call at 2:15 that morning. And I don't know what happened in the 911 call or what was said, but they said that Dallas Austin's daughter, according to Kim's father, was the woman that left her house at 8:15. So she was the last person, according to her, to see Kim alive.
Just days before Diddy was caught up in a massive federal case, a guy named Chris Todd published a 60-page book on Amazon titled Kim's Lost Words: A Journey for Justice from the Other Side. The book was allegedly written by Kim Porter herself before she passed away, though it was Chris Todd who released it after receiving it from one of Kim's friends.
I read Kim Porter's tell-all book on Sean P. Diddy Combs, so you don't have to, and I'm gonna paraphrase it for you. Kim grew up in Georgia, and after high school, she started getting modeling jobs, and she knew that she had to get out of Georgia if she was gonna make it big, so she moved to the West Coast, I'm assuming to LA. This is where she met her husband, Al. So he was in the industry, they fell in love, they got married at 19, and she immediately had a child named Quincy. She really loves this guy. It didn't work out, they did get divorced, but they stayed really good friends, and he's someone that's still very near and dear to her. Then she meets Sean Combs while they're both working at the Uptown label. He's starting to be up and coming, but he's not like huge yet, and he is super into her. He's making advances. She's kind of like, all right, he's cool. I think they go on a couple of dates, but it doesn't become serious, no big deal. But then they run into each other at an event, and he's putting on the charm. He's sitting down next to her, and he's like, you look amazing. And she's like, oh my God, thanks. And he's like, we should get dinner. And she's like, no. And then he's like, oh, Kim, I think I'm falling in love with you. And she's like, okay. So then they end up going to dinner. Something must have happened after their first couple of dates, because in the book she says he's begging for a second chance and she gives it to him, but she doesn't say what happened. So then they end up dating for real. Like they're together for like a year and a half at this point. At one point she's referencing how he comes up to her and he's like, please, can you do it for me again? And it's alluding to pegging him. He's like, please, I want you to do that to me again. And she's kind of like, Sean, no, like I don't want to do that again. And then she kind of makes a sly comment because he's like, oh, like I want you to blank me like that again. And then she goes, isn't Clive the one blanking you? Clive Davis, implying that Clive is blanking him, and then he slaps her hard. And before she can even react, he's like on the floor being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. She ends up leaving, and he keeps like sending flowers and gifts to her house, and she's like, no, I don't want anything to do with you. But then they run into each other at an event again. He comes up to her, she's like, get away from me. And then he sits her down and he's like, no, you know I love you, nothing's gonna keep us apart. I love your son, like your son is my son, blah, blah, blah. And that like gets her because she's like, okay, he is really good with my son. And so she then turns and looks at him and she's like, okay, let's get coffee.
The book drops bombshell claims about Diddy's dark side, including allegations that Kim found disturbing videos of Diddy involved with young boys he managed. Even more shocking, the book talks about Diddy's abusive behavior towards Kim, which allegedly began when she refused to engage in certain activities with him. At one point, Diddy reportedly slammed Kim to the ground and pointed a gun at her, declaring, "You're mine. You don't have a choice in that now."
You see how Al B. Shore, he came out saying that Kim Porter death needs to be looked into?
I think that Al being the that being his ex-wife, he have every right knowing about the stuff that came out about Diddy and what he was doing. You understand what he has done in the past, and people have overlooked it. By him coming out and saying that he hoped that he could get her case reopened. There was a guy called John Paperwork, the Paperwork Party. They would put in an open petition to get Kim's case reopened. You understand what I'm saying? So I'll Be Sure doing this is showing that, you know, he still got love for Quincy's mother. He still want to find out the truth because allegedly Kim was fine the day before and the day of her death. And then now she found in the bed dead from pneumonia. That just don't sound right, bro. That don't sound right at all.
So you feel the same way about her death being suspect?
I don't think nobody in America thinks nothing suspicious about Kim's death, bro. If you are rich like that, you could, you know, Kim had, I think a net worth of like, what, 12 million a year or something like that? Kim could have called any doctor to come over and look at her. If she was that bad, you know, she could have called an ambulance or something like that. Everything is suspicious about her death, bro. And I don't think an autopsy was done on her. And if it was a half job.
You personally, right? What do you think happened to Kim Porter?
If I say something personal, bro, and my belief, and I put it on to the public, then I might be liable. You understand what I'm saying? I might could be liable for what I say. So I just can't say that, yo, I don't really want to say what I really believe, brother.
The book also alleges that Diddy and Kim had an open relationship, with Kim hooking up with Tupac while still with Diddy. There's no solid proof of this, but if true, it certainly complicates things, especially given the long-standing theories that Diddy may have been involved in Tupac's death.
But somebody brought something to my attention, right? They said if you go to her IG page, she got a whole lot of Tupac-related posts on her IG. And they also sent me a picture, right, of her on the red carpet with Puffy, and she's right next to Puffy, and she's wearing the Tupac shirt. And that caught me by surprise when I seen that, man. I wasn't expecting her to be right next to Puffy wearing the Tupac shirt. So out of curiosity, man, did Tupac and Kim Porter know each other?
Bruh, all the people in the industry know at one time, Pac and Puff was like this. Do you understand that?
You're right.
Pac and Puff was cool. They was cool enough where they became enemies. Do you understand that? Whatever happened between them two, it made them become enemies of each other. Where Pac didn't trust him no more, and where Puff idolized some of the things that he was doing. So, whatever they may have done, and you gotta remember, they was all swingers. It came to the point where him and Pac wasn't cool no more at all. And maybe Kim liked him, Pac, more than he liked Puff, but she couldn't have Pac. And Pac didn't have the money that Puff had. So she went where she was gonna be taken care of. Now, I said earlier that Pac and Puff used to be like this. And something happened between them two, and I don't know what it was, and I don't know what it is, that caused a friction between their relationship. You understand? So now, let's just say this. If Puff and Pac got into a fight, who would I put my money on?
So who would you put your money on?
I put my money on Puff.
Okay. And to be honest with you, like I heard a few people say, yo, don't think Puffy soft. He can get busy with the hands.
Not only that, he a good wrestler. I seen that slam a couple of niggas his size and a little bit bigger.
The book's claims are wild, but many people are calling it fiction. Chris Todd, the man behind the book, initially published it under a different name, but later stepped forward, claiming he felt safer talking about it after Diddy's arrest. While Todd says he doesn't have concrete proof, he insists the book is real enough to be taken seriously. Despite the growing buzz around the book, Kim Porter's close friend Ebony Electra and her ex, Al B. Sure, both denounced the book as fake. Al B. Sure did mention, however, that Kim was indeed working on something before she passed. After her death, Kim's computer and other items went missing, leading Al B. Sure to suspect that Kim was trying to expose Diddy before her untimely death.
So when they found her, she had bruises and a lot of her stuff was missing?
Bro, it's a lot of suspect things going on. First and foremost, in our day and time, other than our house key, a woman gonna keep her phone, you know, she got a lot of different purses, but everybody always grab their phone. Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter phone is? And they know they had iPhones. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone? Because everything that came in that phone is text, and you know your iPhone find my phone. Nobody tried to find the phone? I would love for her son, who has all the rights, to go to and get all the stuff out the clouds. Her last text, who she calling, who she spoke to, who called her, where was the last place her phone was at before it was destroyed and cut off.
Diddy's kids have also stepped in, strongly denying any foul play and defending their father against the conspiracy theories surrounding Kim's death. They made it clear that Kim never wrote a book and that they don't want her name involved in any sensational stories. Jaguar Wright, though, has a completely different theory about what's going on.
If you was Diddy's PR team, the smartest thing for you to do would be create your own version of the Kim Porter book. And make sure it gets pushed out there first, so anything that comes after will always be held in question. It's brilliant. Yeah. It's great spin. Yeah. Get his version out before the real version come out. Y'all better believe everything that Al B. Sure says. It's about to get disgusting. See, this is the thing. Kim's official book was never sent out to anybody in complete form. See, this is T. How I know that the book isn't completely reputable. I know that there's a lot of truth in that book. But it is spin, and it is brilliant spin, and it is juicy spin. And I'm going to show y'all the value of what understanding how to spin narratives can change jury's minds. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, this book is spin. And it gives everyone a chance to dirty up everybody else attached to the story. Because if everybody looks like a scumbag, it makes Diddy look like, hey, well, he's not as much of a scumbag. Well, you know what? How was he supposed to know? Yeah, the book Bling. Yeah. Erica Kennedy. Also one of Kim's best friends, her and Kimura. It's brilliant. Dirty up everybody else and give Diddy a fighting chance. You know your baby mom managed to get a book that is going to destroy you out. You have a world-class PR team that does spin campaigns for presidents, for crying out loud. The main objective would be to get as much of that book as you can, buy the pieces that you can from the people that you think or know may have it, get the real details, and then create another narrative around it and release that as the book.
Kim Porter's death remains clouded in mystery and controversy, with no shortage of theories and accusations aimed at Diddy.
I don't believe that, man. I swear. I'm not no conspiracy theorist or none of that. But I heard, did you hear something like that, man? That her casting, how you order a gold casting 2 months before somebody died, man? If I'm gonna pay, or they gonna get the money up, what is it, to resume her body? If they gonna get the money up to dig her body back up and have a real autopsy done on there, have a real investigation on there, who's it gonna hurt? I've been knowing Al for a long time. And this is in the 90s when he walked through Eddie F. house and it was about 100 degrees. Me and him, we talk about this all the time because he be laughing about it. He walked through Eddie F. He was going to Eddie F. house in a black leather suit. It was about 100 degrees outside. Al ain't no fool, bro. Al is not a fool, and he's smart by getting extra security. I don't blame him at all. If I wasn't retired, I'd probably be working for him.
One of the most vocal people in all of this is Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal. He's come forward with several bombshells, including claims that Diddy posted 24-hour security around the funeral home where Kim's body was held to ensure no one could access it. Gene believes the case should be reopened because, in his words, the whole thing is sketchy. He also alleged that Kim had bruises and a broken nose from her time with Diddy, and shockingly, he said Diddy forced her to hook up with people he was trying to make deals with.
Diddy could do whatever, Puff could do whatever he wanted to do, Brother Love could do whoever he wanted to be. If Kim ever tried to get with somebody, Puff would interfere with them or with her trying to be with them. He wasn't letting that happen. Unless he was bringing them to the picture. That's what he used Kim for, bro. He wanted to make a deal with somebody. He'll get another girl and a guy that he's trying to make a deal with, and him and Kim, they all party together. Man, he used Kim for that shit, bro.
Wow, so he used Kim for that?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. You don't do that to somebody you're supposed to love, man.
There's even a story that Kim almost killed Diddy during a fight, stabbing him in the wrist with a corkscrew, narrowly missing an artery. Gene Deal remembers finding Diddy in the emergency room with his wrist bandaged, while Kim sat beside him bruised from the altercation. What's notable is that while Diddy allegedly abused Kim, he never laid a hand on Jennifer Lopez. Gene speculated that Diddy knew J-Lo wouldn't tolerate that kind of treatment, and that if he ever did, the whole Bronx would have been on Puff. After J-Lo was involved in a nightclub shooting with Diddy and his artist Shine, she decided she didn't want to be part of that dangerous lifestyle. Kim, however, stuck by Diddy, which some people believe led to her tragic end.
Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide and they found toxins in her body. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And I'll Be Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma.
So, what do you think? Did Diddy really have something to do with Kim's death to silence her? Or was it simply a case of natural causes?